Firearms Policy Coalition just called out President Trump for failing to actually support and defend the Second Amendment, and it's causing some waves. Hey everyone, welcome back to Guns and Gadgets, where we unpack the biggest Second Amendment stories every single day, oftentimes multiple times a day, so physically check the channel often, daily. I'm Jared, and today I'm going to tell you about a major development coming out of Washington that could reshape the conversation on federal gun control laws. Firearms Policy Coalition, yes, our friends at FPC, just issued a dramatic demand to President Trump. They want him to stop defending federal gun control laws and actively start working to dismantle them. Stick around because we're going to deep dive why the call was issued, what statutes and court cases are involved, what it means for the rights of us gun owners, and what you can do right now. It seems as though the Department of Justice is brazen in telling states that their anti-gun laws are unconstitutional, but they're going to bat defending the federal gun control laws, and that's what we're going to talk about. Before we dig in, a quick word from our sponsor. This video is brought to you by Brooklyn Bedding. Are you looking for a perfect night's sleep? Well, I sure was, and that's why I grabbed a king-size Sedona Elite from Brooklyn Bedding back in May. I was on the hunt for a new mattress and personally wanted it to be not only comfortable, but help me sleep better, be more cooling, be odorless, and of course, be priced reasonably. The Sedona Elite from Brooklyn Bedding is constructed with several cooling features like their unique woven cooling cover that draws heat out and away from the body, while the top comfort layer of copper-infused memory foam utilizes the cooling properties of copper to prevent you from sleeping hot. And finally, the dual coil system creates breathability and airflow, helping to draw heat away from the body and keep me cool. Brooklyn Bedding has been crafting top-tier mattresses for 30 years. Designed and made by experts and delivered free from their Arizona factory, these mattresses truly deliver the best sleep ever. From design to delivery, every mattress is handled in-house, so you get top quality without the markup. Plus, they have a 120-night sleep trial, along with a limited lifetime warranty. I've been using mine now for over 5 months, and it's still pretty amazing. I fall asleep faster, plus it was super convenient because they delivered it right to my door for free. They'll do that for you as well, as long as you're within the United States. And you may have seen it on the news, there have been several issues with lawsuits about the health issues related to fiberglass in mattresses. And I do sleep better knowing that Brooklyn Bedding doesn't use it in their mattresses. They offer all different sizes, including non-traditional, different firmness options, and top quality without the luxury price tag. I love mine, my wife does too, and good news, if you're looking for a new bed, check out brooklynbedding.com/GNG or scan the QR code to get 30% off your mattress with my code GNG. That's an amazing offer for my audience from Brooklyn Bedding. 30% off your mattress by using the QR code or going to brooklynbedding.com/GNG and entering coupon code GNG. That's a great deal. Thank you, Brooklyn Bedding, for not only caring about my night's sleep, but helping the audience as well. All right, so FPC, Firearms Policy Coalition, released a statement from Washington, D.C. And in this statement, they criticized the Trump administration's Department of Justice for continuing to defend federal gun control laws. Laws that FPC and every American who understands the Constitution argues are flatly unconstitutional under the Second Amendment. Here's the statement for you right here. Since President Donald J. Trump signed the Protecting Second Amendment Rights executive order in February, his Department of Justice has done exactly the opposite, relentlessly defending the federal government's unconstitutional gun control regime. Instead of using the Justice Department's vast power to secure Americans' right to keep and bear arms, the Trump DOJ has used it to fight against the people, even taking extreme positions in court to resist injunctions that block the government's enforcement of gun laws that federal judges have already found unconstitutional. Last month, the administration's Solicitor General, John Sauer, the government's top appellate lawyer, often called the 10th Justice for his influence with the Supreme Court, urged the court to deny review in a case challenging the National Firearms Act's registration and taxation scheme for short-barreled rifles. The administration argued that the NFA's intrusive requirements are consistent with this nation's historical tradition of firearms regulation, effectively endorsing the very federal overreach the Second Amendment was written to prevent. In an effort to convince the court to dodge the question of unconstitutional federal restrictions, the Trump DOJ suggested that the court should focus on laws banning AR-15 rifles. Yet, when the opportunity arose for the administration to support exactly such a case, a challenge to an AR-15 rifle ban out of Illinois, the Trump DOJ was silent. Rather than support good Supreme Court vehicles, the Trump DOJ has chosen to game the system and throw its weight behind bad cases likely to strengthen the government's power and weaken individual liberty, such as United States versus Himani, which the Supreme Court recently agreed to hear. The Trump DOJ's continuing adversarial posture to the Second Amendment doesn't end there. In United States versus George Peterson, an FPC-supported Fifth Circuit criminal appeal that challenges the NFA's unconstitutional registration and taxation of firearm suppressors, the Trump DOJ opposed a petition for rehearing en banc, doubling down on its defense of oppressive federal gun laws. The Trump DOJ's sustained pattern of anti-Second Amendment litigation cannot be dismissed as bureaucratic inertia. It reflects deliberate choices. FPC calls on President Trump to immediately direct his Department of Justice to end its defense of federal gun control laws and to begin using the full power of the executive branch to actively protect and advance the Second Amendment rights of the American people. So what FPC is doing here, they're calling on President Trump to immediately direct the Department of Justice to stop defending these federal gun laws and instead use the executive branch to actively protect and advance the right to keep and bear arms, to restore the Second Amendment to what it once was before anti-gunners started to restrict it. And don't forget that FPC is part of that NFA lawsuit as well. It's Jensen versus ATF, the federal case challenging key provisions of the NFA. And the DOJ keeps defending the NFA time after time. They even are upset with my channel for giving you the truth of what they're doing in court rather than what they're saying on social media. Now, yesterday I told you that the Department of Justice's response was due today in the Gun Owners of America's lawsuit challenging the National Firearms Act, but Attorney General Bondi's team asked the judge for more time. Well, yesterday, Judge Hendricks granted her and her team's request for an extension, and now their response is due December 15th. Also, in yesterday evening's video, remember I often do 2 a day, so check the channel every day. But in yesterday evening's video, I told you that Congress sent a letter to Pam Bondi. And they said that when we move that tax to $0, Attorney General, for suppressors, short-barreled rifles, short-barreled shotguns, and any other weapons, our intent, and they use that word, intent, was to remove the registration requirements as well. So fix it. Stop defending it. And that's huge. So we'll see how they respond today or going forward. You want to know? Subscribe to the channel. It's that easy. Now let's unpack the big legal pieces here so that you can see the leverage points for gun rights activists and how this feeds into our rights. Number one, of course, the NFA, right? It's a federal statute from 1934 with some amendments later, but it regulates short-barrel rifles, suppressors, machine guns, and everything else that, is cool. FPC's statement says that the DOJ is defending the NFA's registration and taxation scheme, and they are. We've proven it. I've given you example after example. Now, if the NFA is found unconstitutional, that shakes up decades of federal gun laws, and that's what they fear the most. The federal government, that is. And if the DOJ keeps defending it like they have been, instead of, getting rid of these bad laws, FPC says the administration is siding with the state over the citizen. Now, suppressors and silencers, remember, we got the U.S. versus George Peterson case that the FPC mentioned. It's a Fifth Circuit case challenging the registration and taxation scheme of suppressors in the NFA. It's a big case, and the DOJ opposed the rehearing en banc, a full court review in that case, means they doubled down on defending the federal scheme. But they're telling us that we are the most pro-2A DOJ ever, except we just want to keep all of the unconstitutional laws. We'll stop some new ones maybe and tell some states, oh, naughty, naughty, pants on fire over there, but we're going to defend ours. It's just, I mean, if you're paying attention, you see it clearly. If you're not clouded by other things, and many of us have other things that cloud us all day long, like work, family, bills, income, businesses, it's very tough to stay focused, which is why I do it for you. But we need to know the truth. Actions speak louder than words. So, guys, I will keep you up to date every single step of the way. This is big. FPC is asking the president to shift from passive to proactive, not to just sit back and let the courts handle it, but using the preeminent federal law enforcement and regulatory power of the administration to dismantle unconstitutional gun laws and affirm liberty, reaffirm liberty. Will Trump respond? We'll find out. He usually does. He usually doesn't take well to being called out. So if you're a gun owner who believed in the promise that he told us in February in his executive order, well, you need to start watching what's actually happening. Because again, actions speak louder than words. If the federal government backs down from defending unconstitutional laws, we could see major wins in courts immediately. That opens the door to the restoration of the Second Amendment. Yes, including suppressors and short-barreled rifles and other things like more permissive interstate transfers, magazine capacity victories, all kinds of stuff. So there's a lot to pay attention to here, guys and gals. Stay tuned here on Guns and Gadgets. I'll cover every major development following this statement. And if or when the Department of Justice or the president responds, I'll dig in and let you know. Folks, if you found this video helpful, do me a favor, please. Hit the like button, subscribe to Guns and Gadgets, and ring the bell to get the notifications of when I put out new content or go live. Comment down below. I want to know what part of this story impacts you the most. Suppressors, SBRs, AR-15 bans, interstate transfers, magazine bans. Let me know down below. I know many of you live in blue states like I used to, and it's all of the above. But I still want you to sound off because the Department of Justice watches this channel, and I want you to tell them how it affects you, the American citizen. Thank you for watching. Thanks for standing up for liberty. Thank you for keeping your powder dry, metaphorically and literally. Until next time, stay safe, stay armed, stay free, and keep your rights in sight. God bless you. God bless America. Take care.